small, sometimes you're gonna be a Skip Bayless. You know what I mean?
Ain't nobody as bad as Skip Bayless now. You just being wrong on purpose if you Skip Bayless.
Jason Whitlock's as bad as Skip Bayless, but he's even worse because he's black. And like
I don't know, bro.
he be having coonery takes. At least Skip Bayless like consistently like, oh, like I'm just like a unreasonable fan of a certain franchise. Okay, we get that. But then Jason Whitlock just like you can't be you really a coon out here. Like you like coonery takes, like pure coonery takes. Like you're never gonna get over your Colin Kaepernick take, sir. It should be a wrap for your career. And he low key he didn't low key, but he got a start in Kansas City, writing for the Kansas City Star. So like he's got like a little bit of a backtrack to where I'm from, where I was from, and I'm just like you can't be representing us, man. We already got enough people booing at games for unity. We can't have you out here doing these nonsense takes. But you know it is what it is, and so we can get worse than Skip Bayless. Wait.
Hey, if you every once in a while, if you just want to see how stupid or how like malicious someone can be, just pop over to Jason Whitlock's page anytime he like writes a new article. It's just like you just don't like anybody, do you? Like any black person, it's just like you just be stretching stuff for you not to like. Okay.
It's rough in these streets when you big, black, and obese, and just have trash takes. Like he think he's smarter than what? Oh no, I'm really just hate that guy. I hate him with like all the passion in me.
I can tell.
But like if you listen to him, I don't know how much you listen to him, Calvin. But like if you listen to him, like he's on a show on. He was on ESPN for a while, and now he's on Fox Sports 1.
No, he's not. Yeah, they didn't renew his contract.
Really?
He's on The Kicker or something like that. I don't even know what that is.
Hey, shout out to Fox Sports 1 being like, we got to get rid of this liability. He got to go. So like I thought he started a job there because it was him and the one dude who used to be on Sports Nation, tall black dude.
Marcellus Wiley.
Yeah, it was those two together, and then like Tony Gonzalez going to be on there sometimes. There's like a little round table thing, and I would just sit there. And, you know, when you listen to like sports stuff on YouTube, like certain people will come on your recommendations. So I'm listening. I'm like, oh, let me say boop boop, and I just like every single time now. Ooh, here's his take. I'm like, I don't care about his take about nothing. It's garbage. But I'm glad he got fired though. So or his contract wasn't renewed. I'm glad that was the case. I usually don't say I'm glad for like people's like not having a job, but if you having a job is at the detriment of like all black people everywhere, then yes, sir, you don't need a job. Your contract does not need to be renewed.
Yeah. But thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Traveling Hoopers. We haven't done a intro in like a month, bro.
Why not?
Because we just like start the middle of a conversation and we don't have anything. But again, I am your host, Alan Pettigrew.
I'm Calvin McGowan. Glad to be here once again, I guess.
Oh, and I'm Philip Dixon, a.k.a. Keyboards McGee.
Keyboards McGee.
That's what they call me, dog.
They should stop.
Bro, I'll be out here looking like Wade from Kim Possible on these keyboards, dog. Clickety clack clack. You feel me?
Let's just talk about how wrong we were last week. Let's get that started.
I told y'all it could happen though.
Yeah, you did. Is it bad that I like fully blame Kawhi? Like I don't have like an actual reason. It's just
yes.
It's just not enough, bro. Like I put all my marbles in that basket.
You can't blame the one guy who had literally one bad game or one subpar game. Like you can't blame that. You gotta blame everybody else who was it Montrezl Harrell and
Montrezl Harrell had 20 that game.
The last game?
Yeah. He was their leading scorer.
Ah, snaps. Wait. Oh no. It was the game before. I was about to tell you, but they had 10 points combined.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the game before they had 10 points combined. But I mean, so Montrez did his thing. Paul George hit the side of the backboard. But like, is it bad that when you hit the side of the backboard at this point, people are like, it's just playoff P, instead of being like, oh no, he shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, we expect him to do things like that now, deep into the playoffs, and have heartfelt locker room talks afterwards. Apparently,
he didn't apparently get clowned for it,
bro. Like, I would have rolled my eyes too. Like, dog, like you can't be talking to us like this, knowing that you were in a dark place. But as soon as you got one good game, you out of it. Like, don't talk to me about this, man. Like, you're supposed to be the second. You was like third in the MVP race like last year, year before. Like, don't talk to us about this. Like, you were the one not showing up. You know what I mean? But Lou Will. Like, the game overall is just the Denver Nuggets were just not a good fit or matchup. They weren't a good matchup. Jokic is really, really, really good. And Zubac can't guard him. And like Doc Rivers didn't make good enough adjustments. Like, he just couldn't guard. Like, he couldn't be guarded. You know what I mean? And it was just too many mismatches on their team. Michael Porter Jr. Essentially, why I came in, so like last year, do you remember last year when like the narrative was like, oh, the Clippers did well in the first round, or it was like, oh, they're a bunch of dogs, like they gritty, they grinding, they grip your teeth, kind of, whatever. But it turns out that that's not actually true. Like, but that is the true for the Nuggets. like even their like light skinned player, Michael Porter Jr. is like talking real dirty and reckless on press conferences. You know what I mean? Like they low key dogs. Like, not even low key, they actually dogs. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Every team that has success or has been successful in the bubble has like dog like mentality players. Like, the bubble, like you can't be a player that gets hyped off the crowd, and when you make a layup, you run to the crowd and like cheer them on. That doesn't work here. Can you hoop or can you not hoop? Are you a dog or are you a not dog? Are you competitive or you're not competitive? And we're seeing from the Nuggets and we're seeing from the Heat. It's really seeing it from the Heat that's like the winning formula of the bubble for sure. But at the end of the day, that whole like thought process kind of like gets thrown out the window when it comes to like any team LeBron James is on, because like he's just too good. You know what I mean? Like generally he's like just too good and has that mindset, so he can like carry his team that doesn't actually have that complete mindset like other teams over the hump just because he's LeBron James, like what he does. But other teams need to have like Murray and Jokic have been like enough of that mindset up until this point, and then like the Heat have enough of that mindset more than the Celtics. And the Celtics have like Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown and whatever, right? But then you got like Jason Tatum's not a dog. He too smooth to be a dog. You know what I mean? Like he
gritty.
Jaylen Brown's gritty, and Marcus Smart's gritty. But then they're going up against a whole team of gritty. You know what I mean? Like, do two versus a whole team is a big difference. But like but like you can't necessarily use that same argument for the Western Conference right now. You could up until this point, but you can't use it going forward because one of those people is LeBron James, and he like counteracts all formulas, I guess, just because like, he's the best player we will ever see. Like I wasn't watching Michael Jordan play. You know what I mean? Like, he is the best player we have seen, and we more than likely will see. A person who's 6'8", doesn't get hurt, jumps as high as everybody else, runs as fast as anybody else. Like, that's like a thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but like that's generally what I'm seeing right now in the bubble.
So like I felt like the thing with the Clippers, kind of like we're saying with like everyone who's left has dogs, like are willing to like fight and scrape for like their win or whatever. Like, and the reason like last week I was saying I wasn't sure the Clippers would win is because like if they had that, it wouldn't have gotten to Game 7. Like, it shouldn't have gotten to Game 7 because they were already up. They just had like they didn't have like they don't even have to do it for like up until Game 7. They don't even have to do it for a full game. They just have to close, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And that Game 7 is going to be that the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't show they could do that a whole game. So like it just the fact that they're out now that they lost makes a certain amount of sense. Even more, and that I feel like that whole not willing to fight had more to do with than the fact that like they didn't have answers for Jokic, and like Jamal Murray can get off because like that was always a thing anyway. And like you said, it's a different thing now if they're playing like LeBron and the Lakers because, and granted, like I feel like the Lakers do have some dogs, like well, like I would consider Rondo,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
Not Dwight Howard so much, but he plays the bully role very, very well. Um,
I
but
think
like I feel, hmm?
I think in terms of like the dog of the Lakers, like the competitive dogness of Rondo and LeBron, like no exaggeration. That's like four people for another like legitimately though. Like we've seen it from Rondo for years, and I don't like calling him playoff Rondo because you like if you exclude every regular season except the season with Dallas, it's regular season and playoffs. He has like the same mentality going forward the whole entire season. You know what I mean? So Rondo is that way, and then of course we know LeBron's that way because like LeBron's like a passive aggressive dog. Like he is a dog, but like he ain't gonna be up in your face and doing nothing about it. He just gonna like, okay, I see what you did right there, and then dunk on you, and then look at you like you're beneath him. Like it's like that's just what LeBron does. You know what I mean? But like AD, generally speaking, AD he's soft. He's brittle. He's soft. Like he's just a soft guy is what it is. Kyle Kuzma, we don't gotta say nothing about it. KCP, uh, meaning he is KCP. He's like a good for us. Everybody after that is just like not dog like role players. And Danny Green's not necessarily like a dog, but he's not soft by any means. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like with Danny Green, Rondo, Danny Green, Rondo, and LeBron, like that's like for that like in terms of there's a dogness about them. That's equivalent to like other people's teams, right? But like right now, I mean, LeBron's winning a championship. No matter who was coming out the West, no one in the East was gonna win. Like whoever wins the West is going to be an NBA champion. LeBron James and Lakers are winning a championship this year. I thought the Clippers were going to win, but that was also
They showed us.
yeah. I mean, they showed us, but also that was like pre-bubble, and I think they had a lot of energy guys on their team. Like there are a lot of role players who excel, like extreme role players who excel with like the energy of like the crowd. That's who. That's in like this is the first time we're ever seeing the bubble like situation. So like it was like I was completely wrong, but I couldn't base off anything. I'm not saying really excuse, but it's what it is. You know what I mean? But like it turns out that's just what it was. But like the Lakers, they just gonna win. like the Nuggets. It's not a bad matchup, but it's they're about 2 years away, a year away, 2 years away. I'm gonna say about 2 years away from legitimately winning an NBA championship or being in the competition to be able to win one. But
wild that I think that they're the only reason why they're not winning now is because of like the great upper half of players that we have. And by that, I really mean like what we thought the Clippers were supposed to be and LeBron being in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I think LeBron has 3 more years on that contract.
Yeah, but also let's not say like LeBron. Like, so like we've never seen anything like LeBron in terms of like productivity when it comes to like his age. You know what I mean? But let's not get it twisted. At some point, he's gonna drop off, and it's probably gonna be the next 3 years at some point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's 2 years. Like if it wasn't for LeBron being that scary, I think Denver is showing us that they are good enough to be like Yeah, it's a very big possibility that
Yeah,
they're coming
even right now,
like
like
next week.
the last game they took them to the last second. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like they're gonna be nice. Like they're gonna be nice, and like Michael Porter Jr. can do nothing but get better. Like they have workhorses, like legitimate workhorses, and they probably would have been a higher seed if Harris wasn't injured. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like they have, so like in terms of looking into the future, then if you're a Nuggets fan, you're happy. Like you're very very happy, and they're not going to do anything but get better. Now Grant is a unrestricted free agent this upcoming offseason, but
yeah,
like that's like it. But he is key, but like that's like it though. But like he's key, but he's the kind of player you can replace. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But they're franchise players, right? So the Michael Porter Juniors, the Jokic's, the Murrays, Bol is like gonna give Bol some actual regular season minutes, like get into the form of things and whatever. He's gonna be solid. You know what I mean? So like on the come up, they're here. Like I'm not gonna say like they're in the future, but like they're here right now. But like in the next year or two, they're gonna be stupid nice, barring any injury, of course.
Like if I'm at with Michael Porter Jr., though, something that he didn't do last game that he did the game before, which is something he shouldn't do, is like that first game against the Lakers. He tried to be a jump shooter, right? All he did was he spent most of the game just taking threes. But like they're better when he doesn't settle for those. Like I think the last game, even though they lost because of that buzzer beater from AD, which was surprising to me. I'm not gonna sit and pretend with you.
It's probably
Was
everybody.
like, huh? I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like there's someone out there who's just like, yeah, I knew AD could do this.
Yeah,
I
those
didn't. He's
are
not a. He's
fans.
not a. Huh?
Those people are Laker fans and they got no credibility.
Hey,
Like we were all surprised. Like, come on now.
hey, when he turned to the camera and said, "I'm like that," I was like, "You sure?"
You should, like, honestly.
Like you real good, but I don't know if you like that consistently.
But
Like
also,
you like that today?
like, if you watch the play, horrific defense, right? So like he ran across Mason Plumlee was trailing him. He goes off the screen. You see Mason Plumlee yell at Grant to go out there. Great. He yells at him, but he doesn't go until a second after Plumlee already has his hand on him. So,
Yeah.
so all of a sudden, so really Mason Plumlee should have just trailed behind him and made him take a more difficult contested shot. But by the time the communication was all it, how can I hear him? There's no one in the gym besides baby mamas and and wives. You know what I mean? So I don't know how I couldn't hear him. But by the time AD got the shot off, Grant was nowhere near him, and Jokic, Michelin man Jokic, was running from out of bounds to get him on the 3-point line. So he was already too far away. It was bad defense overall. So he's like, I'm about that. You're about hitting an open jump shot. Like, okay, good. You're in the league. You know what I mean? Like, and you like shoot enough threes that you should be kind of confident in that. But like, let's not act like you were like madly contested and all kind of stuff. Like, I get you're about that, but you still almost lost though to a different Nuggets team that apparently you guys aren't worried about. But that's just Kuzma saying that with his non-productive minutes. That low ceiling can't play without Lonzo Ball minutes. Like oh my gosh, I hate Kuzma.
But to finish my thought about Porter Jr. though is like, and I feel like part of it is like the kind of like get into like kind of get him where you fit in as far as the team or whatever. He'll like basically turn himself into a 3-point shooter. Sometimes that works, but like you have Jokic who's an amazing passer. You can take dudes. You're like 6'10" and can take dudes off the dribble. There's no reason every shot you take should be behind the 3-point line. Like you can do better. He should also be crashing the board because like they have to deal with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee and Anthony Davis for the next couple games. They need all the rebounding help they can get. But also like the I can't quite tell if the refs are gonna let them play super physical or not, because sometimes the refs will call stuff and it's just like, why, like you let this happen, why did you call that, or what have you. Um, and also shout out to Dwight Howard for just kind of bullying Jokic the entire first game, like just being an asshole. Um, like it was top tier like defense and just general agitation, and like they can just like they have the bodies to do that to Jokic for the entire series. There are three of them dudes. They can just switch off whenever they get ready.
Yeah, bro.
I do expect Jokic to come out this next game and be killing though, honestly, because like it has yet to be shown for him to get rattled, like truly rattled. You know what I mean? So
Like,
we're
he's gotten
cooking
rattled.
in the late fourth. In the last game, he was cooking in the fourth.
yeah,
to
I was
close
thinking
out.
fourth, but like in the first 3 quarters, he was like pedestrian. But like I don't know his game. One, he's been proven to be a high IQ player, if anything, right? So when it comes to like adjustments from game to game, you saw the adjustments. You saw a little bit of the adjustments from game 1 to game 2, but I imagine the adjustments are going to be much bigger in game 3. When it comes to Michael Porter Jr., I mean he's got he's got balance. Like he's legitimately got balance, but he's had that his whole entire life. But he has always shot way too many threes for somebody who's like suspect 7 foot. You know what I mean? Like, but like that's how he plays. But they're but that's like a young. He hasn't even played a whole season of games yet. Like he hasn't even played half a season of games yet. You know what I mean? So like that's just gonna get but time. It's gonna be better with time and experience and coaching, whatever it is. But right now, every time it's a jump shot, he's on House of Highlights, whatever. And I know he the kind of guy who looks at his phone after the games. So, hopefully he doesn't let that like hold on to him, and he, actually grows as like a smart, good basketball player. But I will tell you this, from the looks of it, when he's like healthy and playing the whole season, he's going to be the truth. Just give him his needs game more confidence and like a more of a game NBA game rhythm, and he's going to be the truth, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And play defense on that.
Yeah.
Hey, even if he, like, because after that first game, like Malone's probably like, if I was Malone, I'd be in his ear like, you want to be the guy. You can't be settling for jump shots like that. Like if you want us to go to you more in the closing minutes, you have to play like you're good enough to go to in the closing minutes, and you're better than settling for threes.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't get better on the defensive end, I think.
No, it's just like I actually think he will. Like he tries, but like he's just not that good right now. But I feel like he'll probably get it eventually, if for no other reason than because he puts in more effort than a lot of dudes who aren't good on defense. Like he's bad, but at least he's trying. There's something to work with.
Yeah, I'm saying even if he stays like a bad defensive person at 6'10" and him just trying, he's going to be useful in like most systems, and he's probably going to be a 20-point per game dude at some point.
Yeah.
So
it's at his worst. At his worst, he's Kevin Durant, and people aren't lying to everybody about how good of a defender he is. Like at his worst, like he's 6, 7 foot, and gonna be able to block some shots on the help side, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, he plays such great defense." That's Kevin Durant. So like at his worst, that's probably what it's gonna be. But you also give him time to be in the league. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if like it's already been pointed out in the playoffs that if you don't play defense, he's coming off the bench, and he's not a bench player. But they had him in the starting lineup, but he won't play no D. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? But I really hope they go to I really hope they win this next game so they can drag it out more, so I can watch more of them play.
Yeah, it's worth it, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so how do y'all feel about the Celtics Raptors series? I mean, not Raptors. Why did I say just Heat series? Especially, well, no. Let's just start there. How do y'all feel about that?
When it comes to that series, I want the Celtics to win. but the Heat are like just like dismantling them, and I don't like it. I mean, I don't like Jimmy Butler, but I mean, like I said, they get a whole team of just like dog like players with that kind of mentality, and those are the people who are going to shine most in this in this current NBA situation we have. So while it should be surprising, it's also not surprising seeing the types of success we've seen from different players and different things. But also, Brad Stevens was just outcoached last game from halftime adjustments. Uh, Eric Spoelstra is like known, like he's known, and he's a good coach. He's a good coach in all aspects, right? You can give him a team with 3 Hall of Famers, two all-time great players, and one really good player for his generation. And then you can give him a team full of young people, give him a team full of hard-headed people, Jimmy Butler, and like he's been successful pretty much through all of it, or gotten the most out of it. Not necessarily successful, but gotten the most out of what he could possibly do. So like last game, it wasn't just up to the players, but like the halftime schemes. When it came out of halftime, the scheming and just like whatever that the halftime adjustments that are made were just better for the Heat than it was the Celtics. And you don't see Brad Stevens get outcoached often or blatantly outcoached often. I would say that, right? But also, I think Brad Stevens is a tad bit overrated when it comes to a coach. But but when you put him up against somebody with the experience and with the knowledge base of Eric Spoelstra, then like it kind of shows, because Eric Spoelstra, no matter what you think about him, he's consistently been a top 4 coach in the NBA, possibly since like 2008. So, it's been an interesting series for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they really just don't have a lot of answers for like, I don't know, grit and willpower of like and then like surprisingly.
Like they did get game 3 though.
You said what?
They were able to get game 3 though. I mean, granted, it apparently took dudes having an argument in the locker room after game 2, which may or may not involve people throwing chairs, probably.
I love it. I love it. Listen, I remember where I was. When Marcus Smart pushed that player, or the guy on the court when he was at OSU, Oklahoma State. I remember where I was because I've always been a Marcus Smart fan. Like literally since Media Day, what was that? Media Day 2013. Yeah. For the Big 12, they said, "Hey, Marcus Smart, what do you think about Andrew Wiggins and him being, player of the year?" It's like before the season even started. He was like, "I mean, I'm gonna be player of the year. I don't care about him. He ain't played no games yet." Like he's I'm a big Marcus Smart fan though. Not a big fan of all the flopping, but just like his work ethic and just like what he does on the court, I'm a big fan of. And so when I hear stories of him going to the locker room and cussing people out and throwing things and whatever, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. I like that. You know what I mean? It gets me hype. It gets me personally hype. So I'm all into it. But I also like I like the Celtics players a lot. Like I like Jaylen Brown a lot. You don't hear about him much, like because he's on the team with Jason Tatum and the one-time Great White Hope Gordon Hayward, and it's he's on the team with these individuals, so you don't hear about him much. But like he's really good. Like he's really good, and he's dependable. You know what I mean? He's dependable. That mid-range jump shot, transition, dependable. And him and Jason Tatum are a deadly combo. And they're only like 22, 23, both of them, which is nuts to me. So I really like the Celtics and what they bring to the table. It's just that there's always something said to where a majority of the dudes need to be motivated instead of already are motivated. You know what I mean? Like you said, it shouldn't matter for somebody like to cuss you out in the locker room or like throw things or whatever it is. That shouldn't, at this point, that shouldn't put you over the edge. What should put you over the edge, like mentality wise, is, oh, I'm here. I'm like the series before the NBA Finals. I'm here. That's what should. You know what I mean? But if Marcus Smart is able to rally the troops and knock some heads, hey, and if that works, hey, do y'all thing. What do I know? I hope it works, but if it definitely works, do y'all thing.
Look, I heard about that, and and it's like with Game 3. I'm like, if they don't win Game 3, dudes are probably actually gonna get into a fight in the locker room.
I
Like they're
love.
probably actually gonna fight each other. So that didn't happen. Good for them. Hayward came back and definitely helped them get that win.
It's not.
Um,
It's hilarious that like you hear about the locker room, you hear about the Clippers locker room, and Paul George is like, let's keep our championship mentality for next year. And you hear about eye rolls, and you hear about people like disregarding what he's saying. But then like at the Celtics locker room, you hear Marcus Smart just snatching wigs and cussing dudes out, and things being thrown, kind of stuff. I'm just like, and they won. I'm just like, I like that. I like that. But I like it when they won. I didn't like it when Jimmy Butler tried to do that, or didn't even try. Did do that, and he just like mentally broke his teammates. Like that didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like you still took the growth of like two really good players. So like I don't know. But I find it enjoyable. It's when it comes to winning at least.
who do y'all got coming out the East?
Celtics. I think I'm really just hoping. I'm going with hope. Celtics.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm shaky on this one. I got a feeling we about to have a. I've been thinking about this because it'd be hilarious. We're gonna have a Nuggets Heat matchup in the finals, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
I'm not sure it'll happen, but I'd love it.
Look, it would just be so confusing. Like I'm definitely tuning in for all 7 games. Like I think those would be some really funnish matchups, at least like the big battle. But I don't know. I like the Heat on this one.
One thing, if that happened, the Nuggets are winning. If the Nuggets beat the Lakers, the Nuggets are winning. 2, I kind of just want the Lakers to get to the finals just so I can see Jason Tatum dunk on LeBron again. Because
actually mean more.
Because Jason Tatum, he ain't no hoe. You know what I mean? Like I want to see it again and then stir him down, but but for some reason get a tech this time, like he didn't last time. The fact that they just let it go and he bumped into him, I was like, hey, I like that. Just let it go. I'm like, okay. But then LeBron said, he like looked at him, like, come on, man, you better smack that man. That's what I'm saying. LeBron, passive aggressive. He probably dropped 40 that game. You know what I mean? Like he didn't see this. Jason Tatum dunked on him, bumped him with his chest, and LeBron probably scored the next 10 points. Like, he forgettable aggressive. Just like he might have scored 10 points. If he had knocked him out, we would have remembered. But he scored some points. He like, I'm gonna be on the all-time scoring list. That's how he went back at him. Like it's like, okay, dog, like, cool, I guess.
Self-control, bro.
I guess. But you see Bronny though.
I don't even want to talk about that too long.
This man is wild. Calvin, did you see it?
I did, and it's just.
Hey,
I don't think that's gonna end well for him, but that's none of my business.
I told y'all last week. Like it's weird that I told y'all about this last week, and all of a sudden this comes up this upcoming week. I'm just like, I was like, they had to have seen this. I was like, this is nuts. This kid's wild.
Bro, what I heard, like apparently he got hacked, and that's how it got on his story. But I was like, dog, you had that saved in your phone to begin with. Like. What are you doing?
Hey, and the way he hit it with that smoke barely coming out and swung back his face, someone was like, "Oh, he done that before." Like he had that. He had that. Like he had that. I smoke puff. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, like that was wild.
Did you go like from the video things? Did y'all go through like the threads? Like the people who smoke were like flaming him. It's like this little weak ass Frenchie. I was like, bro, he 15. Y'all worried about the wrong thing.
Facts. He is worried about the wrong
thing. And he's LeBron's son.
Somebody said LeBron said, "Let me hurry up and get this thing over so I can go back home." Cause like this little boy wilding when I'm at home. You know what I mean? LeBron gone for 2 months, and LeBron over here trying to lose his scholarship that he already has. But that's a whole different conversation for another time. But whatever. But like I'm just like this is nuts. I love it though. I'm not gonna lie to you. But look, but Grant though, he is 15. So it's like two thought processes. One, he's 15. 15-year-olds are gonna do 15-year-old things. You know, he's no different than any other 15-year-old. But the other on the flip side, it's like he is different than the other 15-year-olds because he's the son of LeBron James and the one that's like known. You know what I mean? Like you don't no one know his glasses son. Don't no one know his daughter. You know what I mean? People barely know his wife's name. Like I don't even know his wife's name. But people know this son. This son's the one that's been around.
It's his namesake. It is LeBron Jr. Like, so, come on, dog.
LeBron had to is it unfair if LeBron at some point before this was like, you gotta know who you are? Like LeBron had to have that, you gotta know who you are, talk to him, right? But then is that fair? Because like that's putting too much pressure. When you always see people who are growing up, but also LeBron don't need there's enough NBA players out there. But LeBron isn't more known than Michael Jordan was known at his height. But most of us don't know what Michael Jordan's sons look like. You know what I mean? So like LeBron didn't need to put his family out there for the world to know and like get involved with. You know what I mean? Like in a sense, get involved with. So like. I don't know, like if it's like in hindsight, LeBron. If it was me, I'd have been like, oh no, like I messed up because like you don't want to put your family in that situation. You know what I mean? That where like he does a thing that a lot of 15-year-olds do, but like now he's getting clowned hard. And like they're talking about it on like ESPN and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, like, ESPN?
Jen and Jacoby. You know what I mean? But like,
that's cool.
I mean, it's cool, but like still, you know what I mean? It's like it's like a pressure that is on him, but like it didn't necessarily need to be that way, but it is that way. So like
the pressure is to not have the video saved. Like that's what the pressure is. Like we're not saying don't do it. We're just saying don't have the evidence. Like that's the only thing, bro. Like,
that's hilarious. Why are you thinking who does take pictures of himself of doing that kind of stuff though? 15-year-olds.
I mean, like there are people who do that. It's not the smartest thing to do, but it's not that uncommon, I don't think.
Yeah, but the people I know who do that aren't doing nothing. Ain't doing nothing right now. You know what I mean? Hey. Think of the resources Bronny got. You know what I mean? Like.
I mean, he could people would probably just give him weed because he asked. Because he's LeBron James' kid, and he's like a future D1 player and probably a future NBA player. Like, the kid could probably get like the really hard drugs if he wanted them, and it wouldn't be hard.
I mean, I could get the really hard drugs; it would be hard. But like LeBron, I don't know. Like I don't know. Is he just 15 being 15, or does he need to be more cognizant of like the responsibilities that he has because he's like LeBron James' son?
I feel like that comes along with being like any public facing figures like child. Especially, it is not like your dad is in a band. Like that's your dad's brand is kind of being like the clean cut dude that did everything right. Like
literally, the biggest thing was like, oh. He had a big car when he was in high school, and he got away with it. He's in Akron. He couldn't afford that car. I don't know if you watched. Was it more than the game?
Yes.
I don't know if you watched More Than the Game. He couldn't afford that car. I don't know how he got that car, but he got away with it. You know what I mean?
And we both know how he got that car.
I mean, we know
he wasn't going to college.
Listen, we both know how he got that car, but he got that car and got away with it. Like, that's
he got a slap on the wrist. I think
in fairness, like there's not a whole
like a couple games.
Like considering he just ended up going pro, there wasn't a whole lot. It's not like the NCAA could actually do anything about it anyway. Just like you can't play college ball. Cool, I was playing pro anyway. Like
Listen, there's a couple. Look, they'll find something. You know what I mean? They'll find something. Those people, you know, those people out there right now. You see it with the dude from Memphis. Why they will try to tarnish her. And Wiseman, bro, you got people who parents are doing things like who was it? Whose family member took something?
I
No,
was talking
no,
about what was in that house.
DeSosa.
So,
His family member took something and he didn't even know about it.
yeah.
For KU, his family didn't even know about it, or he didn't know about it, and he still got punished. That ain't no Range Rover or whatever it was, or Benz or whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't no Bentley. You know what I mean? But I'm just like they'll try to find something for you. You know, I understand one's like in college and one's not in college, obviously. But like they'll try to find some extra dirt. The fact that LeBron James, phenom superstar from the hood. Granted, the hoods of Ohio are like not crazy bad hoods, but like, granted, the hoods of Ohio, right? The hood of Ohio made it out from the slum dogs. You know what I mean? Going to the private school, and you don't got nothing on him. This man's had the most clean cut. Look, there's reputations, not reputations. There's conspiracies that Michael Jordan in his gambling had his dad killed. Like there's that's conspiracy, right?
Yeah, that's also because people were also awful in the 90s, bro.
But also, no, that's like a thing that's like still people believe. Like
yeah, I know, and it's because it was started in the 90s. There's a lot of stuff that started in the 90s that probably should have been ended.
But have you looked at the information though?
It sounds bad. That's all I gotta say.
But like LeBron has nothing. He has no conspiracies. He has no conspiracies. Like people don't ask questions about LeBron. LeBron's so clean cut. It's kind of odd for somebody who like respect to him. You know what I mean? But like he really not human. Yeah. He got the same girlfriend he's had since high school. You don't hear nothing about no groupies. You don't hear nothing about no NBA gym rats. You know what I mean? You just hear LeBron, wife, girlfriend. Delonte West. That was his biggest thing. That was his biggest thing with Delonte West and his mom's. That's the biggest.
As an individual, though, that's not. Yeah, that's got nothing to. I mean, it has something to do with him, but like, it's not like he actually did anything. That's other people doing stuff.
Exactly. I can't think of nothing. I can't think of nothing. I had to go dig to his mom in like 2007. like it's nuts. Respect LeBron.
He yelled at his mom once too. That's the thing.
So what?
He yelled at his mom once in like 2010.
Bro, LeBron's got so much. When's the last time you seen his mom on camera? Because remember, you used to always see his mom on camera.
Yeah.
Always. When's the last time you seen Durant's mom on camera? After every game, you used to go hug her or whatever it is. He went to Golden State for 1 year. You saw her in Golden State 1 year. Now you don't ever see her.
I thought she didn't move out to Golden State.
She go to.
I think that's part of the reason why.
She go to some of the games though.
Yeah, not all the games. Not on the nationally televised game. I mean,
listen. I don't know how many games she went to because she wasn't being shown. You know what I mean? I don't know. But LeBron James' mom, after that whole thing went down, which in the mainstream it didn't really go down. Because if you're just a casual basketball fan, you know nothing about this. But like for like the people who are like inside the NBA, no pun intended. People who are like inside the NBA or like think they are like more deeply conscious about this kind of stuff. Like after the whole thing went down, you just never saw his mom again. You just never saw her. She was in the stand. Like I remember they used to show her all the time, like all the time. And he went back to Cleveland. You still didn't see her.
I don't know, bro. That Delonte thing probably enough. Keep it a buck.
You see videos of like him like doing things with his daughter in the stands and all that kind of stuff, right? And it's like the cute stuff. But LeBron is so clean cut, it's nuts. So like Bronny's got to like, you got to help your man's out. You can't be out on your man. Your dad's been clean cut for 20 years. Oh, my bad, 36 years. You know what I mean? Like his one notch on the belt can't be his son with his same name. Like, come on now. LeBron James leaves the house for 2 weeks and all of a sudden this happens. Come on, that's nuts. I love it though.
Y'all got anything else? I think I'm about to whatchamacallit.
I mean, the NBA scheduling's really dwindling. So like, top of the hand are really dwindling themselves.
I mean, I got nothing to say other than like, what was it that block Bam Adebayo did on Jalen? I mean, on Tatum. I'm messing up, but on Tatum, that was actually pretty impressive. But other than that, that's about all I got.
Yeah.
Because like it looked like Tatum was just about he got up over everybody, like he's just about to, and it's like, nope,
Bam said
and
he
that's
can
the
still
game.
move his fingers.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, cool, sacrificing your body for the win and all, but like, I want to feel my fingers. You know what I mean? Like seeing that picture, my wrist hurt when I looked at that picture. It hurt.
What you need that hand for?
So what?
What you need that hand for besides the game the next day? Like, what you need it for? You can lose feeling for a couple hours. You'll be fine.
Eating, brushing your teeth.
Yeah. You should be ambidextrous at this point.
Come on now. That's not true.
You got 2 of them. Just whatever.
You got 2 of them. This guy's nuts.
Thank you for tuning to another episode of the Traveling Hoopers. I am Alan Pettigrew, signing out. And y'all can do that too.
I'm Cal McGowan again. On YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, and all that.
Hey.
Yeah, my name's Philip Dixon, Mr. Negro League. Twitter, 65RisNamo. Instagram, what's my thing? 65_Phil_Kill_Phil. And follow me on TikTok. No, there you go.